Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this makeup look I'm wearing right now. I love the way this has turned out. I literally have worn my makeup like this for the last like 5 days. So it comes out really pretty. There are a lot of steps, but I do explain each one for you guys. So I really hope you like this video, and if you want to see how to get this look, then just please keep watching. Alrighty guys, so to start off the look, I'm going to start with my eyes. I'm going to use a concealer for the base instead of a primer. I just have always used concealer, so that's why I use concealer. If you use primer, that works as well too. Today I'm just going to use this one by Maybelline. It's Fit Me. It's in color Sand. I'm just going to put a little bit on the lids, and then I'm going to buff that in. Right now I'm using a Real Techniques beauty blender. But you can use any beauty sponge will work. It is damp. I've already got it prepped, so just blend this into your eyes. Alrighty guys, so now that I have that all blended into my eye, I'm going to start this look off with this palette by Huda Beauty. It is going to be her Smoky Obsessions palette. These colors don't have names or anything on them, but I'm going to use this one here on the top row in the middle. And I'm just going to use a fluffy blending brush. Any of them will work. This one is by Morphe. The number has rubbed off, but I think it's the 501. I don't remember which one it is. It is by Morphe. I can find the link if you guys are needing a blending brush, and I can set it or put it in the bottom bar for you as well. So I'm just going to take this and blend it throughout the crease. With this, I also sometimes bring it up a little bit more to the brow bone, but for the most part I keep it in the crease. The reason as well, so you can bring it up to your brow bone really close. I don't ever bring it up like fully to my eyebrow, but I will bring it up and just leave a little space. This helps like when you're done with your look, it kind of gradiates from like your brow highlight to like a lighter color, and then it kind of gets darker as it fades in, and that's what I really like. So that's why I blend it up a little bit higher, to get a little bit more of a color up there than just the brow highlight. Okay, so after I'm done blending that into my crease, I'm going to move on to the next color that I usually put into my crease as well. I'm going to use this palette by Urban Decay. It's their Back Talk palette. I'm going to use two colors out of here. I mixed them together, so I'm going to use this one here, and that one's called Back Talk. And then I'm also going to use WTF, this one. I'm going to mix a little bit of these two, an even amount of these, and I'm going to put that in the lower part of my crease as well. Tap off the extra, and then I'm actually going to keep it a little bit lower. So I brought that last color, like I said, just right up to under my eyebrow, and then it's also in the crease. So this one I'm going to put into the crease and kind of work it down into the outer corner and the outer V of my eye. As you can see, I usually use circular motions as well, just because I feel like it blends better than like just going back and forth. I still use back and forth as well, but most of the time I use a circular motion when I'm blending colors together. And this is also with the same Morphe brush as well. On to the next color, I'm going to switch out with the brush. This brush does not have a number or a name or anything. This came out of a Coastal Scents like brush pack thing. It kind of looks like this. It's like flat, and I like to use it for my lid colors, because the other one I have is kind of getting really like molted. It's not very okay, so moving on. The last color I'm going to put onto my eyes is going to be, it's going to be the same two I used. So I'm going to use Back Talk again. I'm going to use WTF, and then out of the Huda Beauty, I'm going to use this bottom middle one here too. I'm gonna mix these and put this one on the bottom or on my lid, and then once all the color's off the brush, I'm just going to blend it up into the other colors, and I'll show you how I do that. How I blend the colors is the one that I want to come off onto my eyelid last will be the first on the brush. So I'll dip into the Huda Beauty. I'm gonna grab a few or little dips out of the Back Talk, a little dips out of the WTF, and then I'm gonna get a little bit more of that Huda Beauty. And all I do is just take it and just like tap it into the makeup just like that. You don't have to like rub it or move it around, just tap into it. Then I just blow off the extra, and then I also tap it off, and then I'll put on my eyes. So I've already done all that, so I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you. So I'll usually just start in the middle of my lid, and I'll move towards the inner where there's no color. I kind of go up here into the crease right here, and I'll stop and bring it back down so it's covering just the whole entire lid. And I'll do that until I just feel like no more makeup is on the brush and all the pigment has left onto my lid. So now here's where I'm just going to bring it up into this crease, just barely. The inner crease, or sorry, yeah, it's on the inner crease where I bring it up a little bit more and then kind of fade it down when I get to the outer crease. And again, this just helps all the colors be blended together, so you're not having a harsh line here, and then another harsh line here from all the different colors you've been using. Always blend up and blend them together. You're not going to blend them too much to where it's going to look weird. You can never blend them too much. Alright, so now that I got this to the depth that I want, I'm going to move into the last part of my eye. So what I'm going to do is deepen up the outer crease of my eye, or the outer V, whatever you want to call it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Huda Beauty, and I'm going to grab this darkest color right here on the bottom. And I changed out my brush, so now I'm using this one's Morphe E22. And I'm just going to dip into this palette just once. It's very pigmented and a lot comes off, so I just use one and then I'll build up off of that. So you can always start with less makeup and build up onto it rather than starting with the full amount that you want. So I'm going to take this on the outer V, and this one I'm going to dab it into the outer portion of my eyeball. The reason I do this motion instead of swirling it around is because this brush is so fluffy and like chubby, it just gets right in there where I want it to be by patting it like this. When all the makeup does come off the brush, I'll again go around and swirl it around. But I feel like if I was to do that, it would cover more area than I wanted with this type of brush. But I love the application that it puts the makeup on, so that's why I don't use a different brush. Okay, so on to the last step. I'm going to grab the very first brush I used on my eyes, and I'm going to take some WTF mixed with the very, very, very small amount of this top middle color again. And what I'm going to do, blow it off, tap it off, and I'm just going to swirl it around the crease and brow bone. And this is going to help kind of pull everything back together, make sure that you didn't lose any of the first colors you put in there. It just helps everything look so blended as well. And it's just with a really light hand, like you don't need much makeup to do that because it's already gonna pull from what you already have on there. So I just dab into once on each of those colors, and then just start kind of in the middle where I want most of the pigment, and just go around in big light circular motions and just blend everything together. Okay guys, so now that I have my eyes done, I'm going to go ahead and put on my face, and then I'll come back and show you how I finish out the eyes. So I will be right back for you. Okay, so now that you have your face on, I will come back and show you how I finish up the eyes. This is the next step that I would do right after my face, so that's why I still don't have eyebrows on. I usually do that after my under eye. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to that, and then we'll go from there. So the next step I do with my eyes is I take a brown eyeliner and I just line the bottoms of my eyes. This has a little bit of black on it because I did use it yesterday to do, I'll show you actually because I'll do the same thing. So I just take a brown eyeliner and I just line the unders of my eyes, or my lower lash line. Okay, so then once you have the brown lined on your bottom lash line, I'm going to take a black eyeliner and line the top lash line. And I do that by just sticking the pencil there and then just kind of blinking is the easiest way for me to do it. You can like close your eye and just smear it back and forth, but I don't know. Sometimes it lets off a little bit too much product when I do that and I don't want too much. So I'm just gonna kind of dab it and blink on it as I go. Okay, so then after I line the top, I'm going to go back in with that brown and go over the top lash line, and I'm going to bring it back down to the bottom. So what this will do is this is going to take some of the black from the top lash line and bring it down to the bottom. I don't bring black on the bottom because I didn't want a really dark under eye like that. So by doing this, it really helps bring just a little bit of that down because it holds on to the pencil, and then when I come down here, it'll transfer that black for me. And then I do pull this out a little bit further from my eye, and this will help like open up your eye and make it look bigger. So I'm just going to do the same on the other one. I'm going to start with this top middle color out of the Huda Beauty. And I'm just going to take this on. Again, it's one of the brushes out of that Coastal Scents kit. And I'm just going to blend out the bottom liners. I usually do this by just like starting at either corner and just moving like back and forth slowly. I don't know how to better explain it to you guys, so I'll just like take it and just like slowly rub right there and slowly move my hand to the inner corner, but still like moving back and forth really small. The next step I take is with that same brush out of the Coastal Scents, I'm going to take the three colors that I mixed. So it was that Back Talk, the WTF, and then the bottom middle of the Huda Beauty, and I'm going to mix those three together and finish off the bottom lash line. This one I take a pretty even amount of these colors, but I don't have like a certain one I put on first or last. I don't really care on the bottom. I just want them all to be blended together. And it might be also because like when you're doing these small little strokes, I don't know where it's coming off at, so I just kind of, on the bottom lash line, I don't really have a system with that like I do on the lid. Go ahead and put my eyebrows on, and I'm going to glue my lashes on, and then I'll come back and finish it out for you guys. Okay you guys, so I have come back now. I did put my eyebrows on, and then I also glued on my eyelashes. So the last couple steps of my eyes is I'm going to do the brow highlight and the inner corner highlight. With this look, I have taken the very much used Modern Renaissance by Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and I took Tempera here up in the corner. And I took that on the really small brush that I highlighted my nose with. And I'm going to take just a little bit of that color, tap off the extra, and then I'm just going to go through under my brow. It's kind of like a matte color as well, so it's not going to be shimmery. I didn't want to use a shimmery on my brow highlight this time, so anyway, so I just took this, I lined underneath my eyebrow. And then also what I do is I go with a natural curve right here, and I just kind of bring the brush down, and I'm going to highlight all in this area. This kind of makes your eye look, again, just bigger and more awake. And finish off the look, I'm going to go ahead and do my lips really quick. I'm just using a lip liner by NYX. This is the shade Beige. There it is, Beige. So it's NYX Beige lip liner. And I'm just going to go through and line my lips. I don't really overline them, I just kind of go right on my own natural lip line. Okay, and then to top that off, I'm going to use Tarte. This was actually just a sample one. It's Tarte Birthday Suit. It is their lip paint. This is Gerard Cosmetics. It's his highlighter. It's in shade Bridget. And I took my highlighting brush. It's the Morphe M501. And I just got a little bit of this. Got all the extra off. Did my Cupid's bow one more time. And it just looks so pretty. So freaking pretty. Okay, so that is it, you guys. That is how I created this look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys picked something out of here that you learned, or maybe inspired you to create your own look, or will do something with it, I hope. So again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye bye.